Welcome everybody to the Rock and Roll Podcast. We have Andy Rodriguez, we have Al Horta, we have Iggy, and Ray from the band Dawn of the Rising. Welcome to the show, guys. How's everybody doing?
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Doing all right.
Good. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's really good to have you back, Al. It's been a long time, it feels like.
Thank you.
It was great.
Yeah, sorry for all your misfortunes, brother. You know, that sucks. And yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't know how to respond anymore, you know, than that, but
it's all right. Just I'm trying to hold it together, be strong for my family. So for those that don't know,
hear you.
I lost my mother-in-law last Friday and my father-in-law last month. So it's been tragedy, like beyond for my wife and my daughter. It sucks, man. And you know, last year ended shitty and this year started shitty. So, you know, but listen, man, power of music, bro. Life goes on, you know? Yeah. So I appreciate all the kind words from you guys.
Well, you're welcome, absolutely, man. I mean, we're a brotherhood, man. I mean, that's what we do. But you know, welcome back to the show. We love you. Glad to see you're here. And yeah, let's have some fun. We're gonna be ranking some Metallica albums tonight. This should be really interesting. But real quick, I'm gonna let Andy go ahead and interview our two superstars, which is Ray and Iggy. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, so we are talking to Ray and Iggy from the Dawn of the Rising. And I just had a couple of questions for you guys. We know and we've heard that y'all have a new album coming out in the beginning of 2022. We just want to know how's that coming along, and around what month do y'all think that that'll be coming out? And is there going to be any I'll ask another question in a minute. But if y'all can respond of the timetable when it's coming out.
Okay, well, we're finishing up some post-production, plus we have decided to add a song or two on the end of this. So we're still filing some recording that we didn't know we were going to do, but we also wanted to have a fresh year to put this out in, and not like the end of last year, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, the date changes and it's old. So we've been sitting on it, and now that there's a fresh brand new year, and plus we can, you know, back the album better live and support it for the entire year, you know, the best we can with the COVID times. But it is coming out. We're just finishing up some recording on a new song that we just finished up, and we're working on another song, another surprise. It's a tribute to one of our favorite bands, and that'll be on the record as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome. And Iggy, are there going to be any hard copies to this one?
Yeah, also there's going to be hard copies, digital distribution like we did with the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys keep an eye out. As soon as we release, we're going to send you a couple copies.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic, man. That sounds great. And also, about how many tracks are we looking at? You think as a final?
Around
six,
we're right.
Yeah, we're six. We may it's probably more of an album / EP because it's going to be all new material.
Yeah.
But we might slide the other 4 from the EP on it. We're not sure yet. We're working on that, but definitely a new album, but a short album, but it's going to be really good because we're already working on material for another album.
Oh,
but
wow.
We want to get this one out first, you know what I mean? But we wanted the year to put it out, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. We just had a podcast last week called The Best of 2021, and Rob and I were also talking about how we're going to be expecting a lot of new music coming out in 2022. We feel a lot of bands are going to be sending out. I mean, we're going to be flooding in new music this coming year, and you guys are going to be one of those, and that's exciting for us all. So So we'll keep an eye out, and I will actually go check my mailbox instead of just my wife. I'll go look into my own mailbox.
Absolutely, because we're definitely keeping you guys. And I don't know, can I mention our other friends or no?
Oh, of course, you can mention whoever you want.
Well, you know,
Anybody,
Decibel
man.
Geek, our brothers. You know,
Hell
it'll
yeah.
be you guys and them that get first dibs, and also our other friend Carlos at
Animal House Radio.
Yeah, and you guys are all our favorites, and we definitely hold you guys. You know, you support us, and we support you.
Yeah, you know, that's a good thing, and also we can also talk to Brad Dahl, who runs Yarg Metal, and let him know about you guys. Maybe he can put y'all on their radio show. It's a online metal radio show called
Absolutely,
Yarg Metal.
we cherish anybody, and we also return the favor.
So I will let him know, and we'll see what we can do for y'all, and put y'all there on rotation.
Appreciate it.
As soon as we get some final on some of our tracks, which we have a few done, but we have a couple things on our end we got to tidy up real quick.
Right.
But when we single out a song, you know, for a single to put out front,
Yeah.
you all will get them first. You know what I mean? You guys, Decibel Geek, and the other people we have mentioned, and also our friend at Win in Darkness Radio in UK as well. They supported us, and in 2020 we were #1 on his list in the UK.
Oh,
for
wow.
our EP, yeah.
And
we were number 12 on
cool,
Decibel
very
Geek,
cool.
but
and also our friend Ralph in Australia.
yes.
Wow, y'all are going worldwide. This is fantastic. So this is exciting news, and we look forward to everything that's coming in 2022. So
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Appreciate
Ralph
it.
Mueller on the Ralphie's Music of the World. He's actually he puts us everywhere, like you name it, Germany, all kinds of stuff, Australia, UK, everywhere.
And metal is still it's very important here in America, but you cannot compare Europe. I mean, the
Oh, I
metal
know.
in Europe compared to here.
Yeah, those guys are full of metal, and we appreciate that because they support us.
Yeah. I mean, over there in Europe and South America, it's still tops.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know what happened here in America when it comes to new metal. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the raves have taken over pretty much on all the festivals. I see all that gear, and I'm like, damn, there should be a band up there with all them lights.
Right. Yeah. That's so true. So, are y'all ready to start ranking?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do
All
this.
right.
One more question,
Yeah, of
or
course.
one more thing to say real quick. You guys have been doing some shows. Do you guys have any upcoming shows you'd like to promote?
Yeah, we
actually,
have
yes.
one coming up
The
in
26th,
February here
next month.
at the Starlight, and it's going to be our friend Kerber. He's the skull man in town. He brings all these skulls to shows and puts them on the stage with all these bands. So he literally has all the top-notch headline bands on this night, literally. So he's a lucky dude, and so are we to be on it. You know what I mean? So it's all the heavy hitters of AZ rock and metal scene going to be playing. So we're excited. That'll be at the Starlight on February 26th. And then we have a county fair in Pinell County coming up as well. We'll announce more of that when we can.
Sure.
And you guys just recently did a show with Damage Incorporated, right?
No,
That
we were
was
going
scheduled.
to, but the contract didn't work out for us, so we dipped out
Oh,
that
man.
one. We love that band so much, but we actually when we got the contract, we were not happy with it. I don't want to explain because everybody has their own thing, and it was just our choice as a band. It didn't work for us.
Understood. All right, so let's get to it, guys.
All
Let's
right.
rank some Metallica.
All right. I've been waiting for this for about 3 weeks now, so I'm so excited. Okay. So was I going to go
Yeah,
first?
so is my kidneys.
Right. So I was going to go first, right? And then we're going to go to circle. Is
Yeah.
that right? All right. My number Are we starting at what, 11 or 10?
Are we going
Maybe
from the
11.
top to the bottom, or
Well, bottom to the top.
to the top. Bottom to the top.
Yeah, bottom to the top. Your
There's
least favorite
11.
to your most favorite.
Okay, so
Yeah,
my
there's 11.
bottom,
If you're
number 11.
Yeah,
Yep,
there's
go
11.
ahead.
well,
Okay, my number 11 from the bottom to the top, I have to go with Saint Anger for me. I don't know what's going on with them drums. They sound like trash cans to me. And also the songwriting was just horrific. I didn't like the songwriting at all, and it's so surprising coming from guys who wrote the previous albums to Saint Anger. And it's so hard because the first 5 tracks, they're almost like 7 minutes long, and they're repeating the horrible lyrics over and over and over. This was just a train wreck for me, and I just didn't like it. And to the point that that's the only one I don't own. I chose to give it away because I just didn't want it. So that's my number 11. That's my start at Saint Anger.
All right, Ray, your turn.
okay, I would have to say my least favorite. It would have to be Saint Anger as well because of the mix, and I think that was Bob Rock's. I hate to call him out like that, but I think it was his idea to mix the drums crappy like that on purpose.
I'm sure.
From what I hear,
I'm sure it was
And,
Lars's idea.
was it?
I'm sure it was. I can't.
I agree.
But I heard Bob Rock's was like, because I think they were trying to go back to their old school, but not. We wanted old school with the music, not the fucking mix. You know what I mean? And also Kill 'Em All and even their demo for Megaforce sounded better than that.
Yeah,
But
no shit,
I would say
right?
if I picked my favorite song off that worst album, I would say My World would probably be the best one for me on that. And that would be my 11.
All right, Iggy. Go
Yeah,
ahead, my friend.
I gotta agree with the guys. I mean, that album was like, oh my god, the worst. A mixture between diarrhea and hemorrhoids, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it was awful. I mean, I don't even recall a song that I could say from that album that I would say, oh, that was a cool song. I mean, everything was like.
Yeah.
Following that album, Load. I mean, they had a few good songs in that album, but still, it wasn't like they were trying to pick up the mess that they left behind. That's my point of view for that album.
So
All right,
Al,
Al.
Saint Anger as well.
Yeah, I think it's unanimous.
The big turnoff is the production, man. I mean, I've heard demos like sound better than this, dude. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Even though, for example, the Justice for All album that they lacked bass,
still,
but it
kicks
sounded
ass.
it sounded way fucking better than
Well, you
Saint
know,
Anger.
the songs are way better too.
Definitely songs and
I
everything.
do like, off of this album though, I do like the song "Sweet Amber." That's actually a pretty cool song. And then when I heard the Symphony 2 version of "All Within My Hands," it had better production. And
Oh yeah,
it gave the song
revived
more
it.
life.
it revived.
And, and then I was like, yeah, it's not a bad song, man. I remember watching the some kind of monster documentary, and they were having the argument about no guitar solos on there, and that's a big problem of the album. I mean, Kirk was making an argument like you're dating the album to a trend that's happening now, which at the time was nu metal, and nu metal didn't have solos in a lot of the songs. And in hindsight, he's correct. They dated. You listen to that album now, the album sounds dated. It goes back to that nu metal era, and it just sounds dated. I think now they're starting to, when they do these songs live, they're adding guitar solos to them, you know, and they're trying to update them, I think. So, but anyway, I mean, it's the bottom of the barrel for me. So, I mean, when the album came out, I was like, dude, what were they thinking? You know,
Yeah.
I think I must have listened to the album probably 3-4 times, and I shelved it and never really grabbed it again, really, to be honest, you know. So
Yeah.
it was tough. It was tough to get through the whole album, man.
Yeah.
So that's my number 11.
And for Kurt not to have solos, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we listen and love Metallica, are for those Kirk solos.
Yeah, well, you
For
know.
those
Yeah, that's why
long,
Kurt's in the band.
Yeah. And it's just, and it wasn't there. And it was just odd. It was like, really?
Yeah.
One thing that is a signature for Metallica, it's the guitars. I mean, you cannot take the guitars, especially solos, harmonies, because if without that, you wouldn't even be paying attention to Metallica or looking at Metallica the same way that you look at it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're best known for.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
totally
I agree.
agree, and I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I think we know what my least pick is too. Fucking Saint Anger. I mean, it's just complete terrible. I remember when I first heard it, Andy said the trash can sound. You're like, what the hell is this? But maybe it was a little payback for taking away the bass on Injustice for All. You know what I mean? Maybe Bob Rock was like, you know what? We're gonna make this sound a little trashy. So, in my opinion, yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more time with it. It's definitely Saint Anger.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, and my
Your
number 10 is going to be Reload. There wasn't very much on here that I liked, and this was such a bad period for Metallica. It seemed like after the Black Album, they wanted to keep getting on the radio over and over and over, and they were trying with just very lackluster radio rock for that time period. The songs on here, Devil's Dance was good, and I liked Fuel, and I liked the Memory Remains, that's the one with Marianne Faithfull that does the backing vocals, and it sounded haunting, but again, it just wasn't the Metallica that you want, or the Metallica you really want to listen to. But Prince Charming was horrible, and Where the Wild Things Are was bad too. But again, when you're writing part 2 and part 3 to a song like Unforgiven, Unforgiven 1 was okay. I didn't think it needed to have sequels to it.
Yeah, like 3 of them. Come on.
Yeah, there's 3. So
And we're probably gonna get a 4th on a new album.
but,
They were forgiven at the first one.
right? They've just kept on asking for forgiveness. After a
Now they're
while,
totally
you gotta stop
unforgiving. I'm
forgiving.
just kidding.
But my 2 tracks were the radio songs. Fuel, The Memory Remains, and Devil's Dance was good. Other than that, everything was very unmemorable on that. That's it.
True.
All right, Ray.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. No, just kidding. I would have to go with Reload. Yeah, that would be my next 10. Yeah. That's the only song I really like off that album. I don't hate it. It's just not, like you guys said, it's not the traditional Metallica I grew up with. I'm old school.
Yep.
So yeah, Reload would be number 10 for Ray.
All right, Iggy.
Yeah, I agree. That's for me also number 10. And that was like when Metallica fell in the sewer hole, and that album was them trying to get out of that hole where they fell.
Mhm.
I mean, there were a couple of songs that were okay. You could say I could listen to the song again, but the rest was still like it was. It was an album that was leaping really bad. It's a recovery attempt, the way that I see it.
Mhm.
I agree.
My number 10 is Reload as well. I was never a big fan of Fuel, to be honest with you, the song Fuel. I do like the last song on here. The last song on here, Fixer.
The Fixer.
That's a good tune, I thought. To me, that's probably my favorite song on the album. It was a pretty epic song at the end. They kind of did the same formula like they did on Load and had a big, like, long epic song at the end of the album. But to me, that's like the best song.
Curious thing is that it's like you said, it was quite a good song, but they barely play it live.
Yeah, I think they just played. You know what? I think they just played it live at the 40th anniversary for the first time ever.
Oh wow!
I think I just heard. Yeah, they played Fixer, so it was the first time I think they ever played it. So I didn't catch those shows though. I need to watch them on whatever channel they have it on or whatever. But
Nooks Net, I think is what's called what they're using right now to broadcast all the shows and all the live events.
Yeah,
it's called what, Iggy?
Nooks, I think it's NUG.
Oh, Nugs.
Nugs or Nukes or something like that. Yeah, I don't recall the precise name. Yeah, Nuggers.
I think it's NUGGS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that, yes.
But yeah,
I was like, damn, Iggy's looking at nudes again.
Nudes.
So yeah, I think so. The number 10 for me is going to be Reload. I think, they said that they recorded these songs at the same time as Load, but I think a lot of these songs should have just been relegated to like probably B-sides or something, and I like a way less than Load actually, which we'll get to eventually. So, but my number 10 is Reload.
All right, Andy, go ahead.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, you.
I think we answered that question.
All right.
So far,
it's Reload.
Reload that question.
Reload.
So far, it's been across the board.
So far, we're all 100% on the same wavelength. This is why I love doing shows like this, because I get surrounded by good people that know what they're talking about. So why waste anybody's time? I have nothing on here. So go ahead, Andy.
My number 9, part 1 of it is Load. As my number 9. Even though there are some key tracks on here that are okay, like "Ain't My Bitch," "Until It Sleeps." "Until It Sleeps" is an okay song, but the video was just crappy. It was just horrible with all the posing, and it was just horrible. "King Nothing," is a nice little pop rock tune.
Exactly.
If I got a grasp for straws here, and the same thing with "A Hero of the Day," that a rhythm for it belonged on the radio at that time. It didn't belong in our bedroom or in the car with our friends. It was on the radio, and you said, okay. And just those right there, just those tracks are the ones that stick out to me. Or again, the radio hits, and other than that, it was like they weren't even trying. It was like they had already given up, and their writing was just trying to get on the radio. And Load, number 9. That's all I got for that one.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, I have to say the same thing. I would have to say Load. "Ain't My Bitch." Yeah, that would be my favorite song on there. "Ain't My Bitch," and then that would be my number 9 as well. I wasn't a Load Reload fan. Like I said, I don't hate it again, but it's just not the traditional. I mean, it was a little better than Reload for sure.
At least on Load, you were able to get halfway through.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's my number 9.
All right, Iggy.
I'm 100% with Andy on that one. I mean, production-wise, was better than Saint Anger. Still, the videos that they did, I don't know if they were trying to catch up or mock up what other bands were doing in that era at that moment. I mean, but they were. I mean, it had a few good songs too, but I mean, still didn't make it. I mean, it's for me. Yeah, for me it was like let's make two albums to comply with the record label, and we get out of them. Because I think if I'm
Yeah,
not wrong, that those two records were done while they were getting out of Electro Records, right?
Oh, I don't
correct.
know.
I don't,
Electra.
Electra, right?
Yep,
So
correct.
probably they were trying to comply with the contract. Let's finish our record deal with these guys and let's do two quick albums and let's get the fuck out of here. Because I think they put also too much energy touring for the Black album, and
It only took us one album to realize that. No, just kidding. Okay, my bad.
That's true, but yeah.
All right. So my turn here.
yes, sir.
I think I'm going to break the mold on this one. My next one, which is what, number 8, right? Or number 9? Number 9, right?
9.
I'm going with Death Magnetic, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But I when this album came out, it was good, but I thought they were trying a little bit too hard, man. But there is some good songs on here. I'm not gonna deny that. The Day That Never Comes, the first single, was actually that was a good song, man. It was their radio song to get the album going, I guess. There's much harder stuff on here. Suicide and Redemption, The Judas Kiss, a lot of good songs on here. They did Unforgiven 3, so they had to go for a third one on a sequel here.
It doesn't have Jaws 3.
They could have did without that. But the thing about this album is when I listen to this CD, it was mastered so hot. It was like there was no dynamics to it. Everything was crushed. So there was like a sizzling sound, like a hissing when you listen to the album. I say this because I'm kind of an audiophile. I like good production. I like good sounding albums. And I found this album to be kind of unlistenable in the mastering department. That being said, there was a version that came out that was done for the Guitar Hero video game.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That was much better dynamics. It was actually when I listened to that,
Absolutely.
it was like night and day between the retail release and that one. So I remember downloading that version of the album, and I listened to that one exclusively. If I ever listen to the album, that's the one because it sounds really good, the sound wise. So, but yeah, I'm going against the mold here, but it's still, to me, I thought like, yeah, they came back hard and they got like some of their thrash roots back, but I thought they were trying a little too hard. You know, they were trying to overcorrect Saint Anger to me, and I don't know, it sounded a little false to me. So that's just my opinion. It's still a good album though, but that's going to be my number 9.
All right. Well, excuse me. My number 9 is going to be it's going to be Load.
I knew I was going to be the odd dog.
Oh, yeah. For once, somebody's got a different opinion. But I did like a few songs off of this album. You know, I did like King Nothing. I liked Bleeding Me and
That's a great
Wasting
one.
My Hate. Yeah, and I like those songs.
Yep.
But the rest of the album to me is just filler. And what the hell are they trying to do? You know, the way I looked at it was they were just trying to, you know, just be almost like a rock, pop kind of band, just, hey, let's get videos out there. Let's, get our name more out there. It was just kind of like, but at the same time, I do agree with Iggy that, hey, we're just trying to get out of this damn contract, because it is kind of funny. Once they did get out of the contract, they started going back to that kind of their old roots. But yeah, I'll go ahead and say, yeah, this one is definitely Load.
Yeah.
All right, Andy.
Number 8, I want to say a quick hello to Kate. Hey, Kate. Thanks for watching. My number 8 is going to be Garage Inc. as my number 8. I do like this album a lot, but their covers, and what brought it down was Turn the Page, the cover they did of Bob Seger. That was just god awful. And along with the video, I didn't like the video that much. But then they've got it also has the 599 EP attached to this, which has a lot of points, adds a lot of points to it. Because
that was a great EP back in the day, man.
Yeah, it really was. It was killer. That's when we were introduced to like Bread Fan and stuff like that by them, and
Wait.
and it would come out on the radio. You're like, dude, that's pretty badass. But yeah, that's my number 8 is Garage Inc. I dig it a lot. But because they're covers and stuff like that, that's why I got at number 8 and not original. But it's good that they gave homage to their heroes on here, because also this 599 EP and Garage Inc. introduced us to a lot of earlier thrash or a lot of earlier metal bands from the early 80s we did not know. And we're like, oh, okay, let me check them out because I love Metallica. Let me see what these guys are all about. So that's points for this one as well, Garage Inc.
Yeah, I really like the punk songs they did. I killed your mother today. Badass.
Yeah. They really did some good stuff on there. Ray, what do you got?
So this is number 8, right?
Yeah.
Let me see here. I have to go with Hardwired. I like the album, but yeah, it would be my number 8. But I do like the title, Hardwired. It's a great song, and they did have that thrash energy again.
Yeah.
But I would say that's my number 8.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good album. Just that I think it was the double album that kind of went a little bit too long, and there's a lot of great songs buried in there that you really need to dig for, especially on disc 2, because disc 1 is almost flawless on Self-Destruct. It really is. It's really good. That Moth to the Flame, and they went back to the good writing on there as well. I really liked that album. Yep.
I really like it, but there's a lot of other ones I really love, so I have to stick it right there at 8.
Yeah.
Gotta rank them somehow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will go with Al in this one. Death Magnetic. I mean, it was quite a fun album to listen to compared to the previous shit that they brought before. But yeah, the sound quality was like he said. I mean, it wasn't their best mix, wasn't that good, and that kind of spoiled their product. In my opinion.
Yeah, well, they compressed it a lot in mastering, like he said. And when you compress, you're crunching it. You know what I mean? And then when you're on the radio, they crush it and compress it even more. So by the time it gets spit out there, it's real crappy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Cut and dry.
Al, number 8 for you?
Number 8 is Load for me. I mean, it was when the album came out, I was very disappointed actually. But as I've gotten older, I do realize like the change that they were going for. Yeah, I mean, it was alternative at the time. They were kind of chasing that a little bit there, but there's still some great songs on here, I think. I mean, Hero of the Day, I actually like the song on the symphony. The first symphony with the symphony was, I thought that was like one of James's best vocal performances.
Wow.
And like really
S&M?
S&M, yeah, first S&M. I love the song on there, man, even more than the studio version. Bleeding Me.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Bleeding Me is a great song on here. That's like one of my favorites. James's vocals on here were really great. And like the last song, Outlaw Torn, another great epic. I thought that was like a really good one, you know. But yeah, there's still filler on here. I think if they would have taken this, you know, and probably, you know, some couple songs off of Reload and actually chop some songs from here and combine the two albums, it would have made a much stronger album.
I agree.
But this is my number, what is it, 8? So this is my number 8. That's really it. But, you know, production-wise, it's good, man. I mean, the bass and drums sound great on these albums, you know. Good, nice bottom end, you know. But yeah, that's my number 8. I got to rank them somewhere. So that's, you know, the better of the Load albums for me. And I like it a little bit better than Death Magnetic, to be honest. Yeah, that's my opinion. So
yeah. Awesome.
Well, my next pick's going to be Death. You know, I was so, you know, like so jacked when this album was going to get released. I was like, oh, I can't wait. It's going to, you know, because that's all you kept hearing. Metallica's coming back. Metallica's coming back. And was I disappointed? Not really. But at the same time, you know, it seemed repetitive, if you will. You know, the same kind of like, you know, chugging and whatnot. And I was like, you know, this is cool and all, but it's still not, it's not old Metallica. It wasn't like, you know, they were trying to revisit like Master of Puppets and try all these different nuances with the songs. It was just all, you know, just blast beats and, you know, Lars. You could tell he was just going through the motions, you know, the same beat over and over. But I gotta say, I do love the song Broken, Beat, and Scarred. I love that song.
it's a good one.
That to me was really cool because you got that groove going on, you know, and the little changes that they were doing. So yeah, I'll go with Death Magnetic as my next choice. So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I think we're at number 7. I'm going to go with Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I liked this album. Like I was mentioning earlier, it just goes a little bit too long. It's a double, so it went a little bit too long. But the first disc is just almost, I almost blurted out classic Metallica. It's not, but it's a very good disc 1. And like the songs Atlas Rise is really good. And Hardwired, which is the title track, was tight. And Now That We're Dead was kind of a pretty cool song. I liked that one. It was like he was having a conversation within that song, and I thought that was pretty cool. And Moth Into the Flame, I really liked the breakdown to that song, Moth to the Flame. So that's going to be my number 7. It's going to be Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I saw that tour as well when they were with Avenged Sevenfold. So that was a pretty cool show.
Yeah, I saw that too. Actually, Justin Kuhn, the guitar player in our band, also my son, he and I both went to that. All my kids, really.
Yeah, it was a really good tour, and they played some really solid tracks off the new album as well. So I was excited to see that as well. So yeah, it
was a hell of a show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was a great show.
Yeah, just don't ever, you know, go back and look at the Grammys with Lady Gaga. James fucking lost his shit. His mic didn't work. He's throwing the guitar and everything.
Yeah.
If you guys have not seen that, go check that out. It's quite entertaining.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Ray, what's going on with you? Number 7, right?
Yes. I'm gonna have to do Death Magnetic as number 7. I really like the Judas Kiss song. I like a few songs off of this record. I really did like where they were going and turning the gas back on. And I think they really kicked some ass on the record. Yeah, it could have been mixed better for sure and mastered better, but I really dig what they were doing. And Trujillo kicked ass. He was shredding the bass up on that record, man. Like he was like like doing his thing, you know. And then when I saw the tour too, it was just Money live. Like I was like, wow, these guys, that is Metallica still, no matter what. I don't care what albums they do, they could just shit and make an album, and I would still love them because they are Metallica. They did kick open the doors for all of us hard rock and heavy metal, thrash, and everything. I mean, so I got respect for them no matter what they do. But I really like Death Magnetic, but that's my number 7.
Nice. All right, Iggy.
Yeah, I also will go with Death Magnetic. I mean, first side was good. The second one was still, I mean, for me, I don't know, kind of was losing that energy at the second side. That's the way that I say it. It's not bad, but I think they could have done a little bit better, especially after all those years, everybody waiting for an album from them.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Al.
My number 7 is Garage Inc. Metallica's done some great covers over the years. The inclusion of the first or the Garage Days revisited, because there was a Garage Days revisited, which was a single with like 3 songs or something on it.
The yellow one.
But yeah, it introduced me. I mean, we just lost bass player and singer of band Budgie, Burke Shelley. He just passed away a few days ago. I never heard of Budgie.
God bless him.
I never heard of Budgie until I heard Metallica cover them, you know, and they did Crash Course in Brain Surgery on the original Garage Days.
Right.
And then then they did Bread Fan later on as a B-side. So great songs that introduced me. I mean, they introduced me to a lot of great bands that I never even knew, you know. So but they do a cool Merciful Fate medley on here, which is really cool.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
They do Astronomy by Blue Oyster Cult, which is a great song. Stone Cold Crazy by Queen. That's a great version, you know.
I love that song.
So yeah, they did a lot of good ones on here, you know. I mean, there's a couple clunkers or whatever on the newer songs they did, but you know, I mean, Turn the Page, I was hearing that everywhere on the radio. Same thing with Whiskey in the Jar, you know, but they got on the radio. They were Metallica, so what are you gonna do? But they introduced me to a lot of, you know, underground bands at the time when I was a teenager that I never knew about. So I never knew Budgie, I never knew Diamond Head, I never knew any of those bands if it wasn't for them. And now, like, I went out and bought albums by those bands. I love those bands. So,
yeah, oh, that's awesome.
So I credit Metallica for that. So that's my number 7.
Yeah, Diamond Head, they're badass. I love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the one awesome thing about Metallica, man. You know, they brought so many other bands, you know, to life, you know, like even Anvil, you know, they you know, were always preaching them too. So I give Metallica so much credit, you know, bringing us all this other different metal that they either covered or talked about. And, you know, I salute them for that. So yeah, my next one's going to be Hardwired. You know, it's an okay album. You know, I do like Dream No More. It was kind of like a part 2 to Sad But True. And then I definitely love Spit Out the Bone. That song is so heavy and just so much fun to listen to. It's just one of those that if you're really in a bad mood, pop that on. And the other cool thing was that they did a music video for every single song. And they were releasing them. What was it? Like every day they were releasing a new video, even before the album came out.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like I think it was like a countdown to when the album was released. So they were like every day. I think it was like a new video or something.
Yeah, it was like the new song, new video, and I thought that was a really cool concept as well. I mean, they're Metallica, you know, they're going to sell anyways, and they were smart as hell too. If you buy a ticket to our show, you get a copy of our album.
That's how I got this one.
Yeah, that's how they soared. You know, I mean, they were like number 1 for like a month or two, and it was such a smart strategy on their part. So, you got to give them credit. It's like back in the day, they would rip on bands that would do something like that, but they realize the older you get, you got to have some kind of marketing tool if you want to, keep your name out there and what have you. And I thought that was really smart. And now it's like almost every band is doing that. Okay, you buy a ticket, you get an album. I think that's really smart.
Yeah.
Or like if you buy the album, they'll give you like I'm like an MP3 download or something like that to have two different copies or two different medias of it. Yeah.
And I also like when bands, like if you go to a show, and Kiss has done this, you go to a show and then at the end of the show, you get this like little USB of the whole concert, from the soundboard.
Yeah.
I think that's also another great, marketing.
I love when bands do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's great. It's more bang for your buck, if you will.
To me, that's the ultimate souvenir of the show is getting a copy of the show that you're at.
You were just at,
10 years from now, 20 years from now, I can like pop it in and be like, wow, man, I remember when that happened during that song or whatever, it's kind of cool. I'm a big bootleg collector, so I've collected that stuff for years.
Or like
it's like you go to your family or whatever. I was at this fucking show, fucking right on, right?
Right.
And they're all like, hell yeah, that's badass, And I've never got to experience that yet, but I hope I do. I would love to go to a show and here, by the way, take that with you. This is tonight's show. Okay, badass. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hardwire for my pick. So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, now just to add to that, I know that's not the same thing, but there's this pretty neat website called Setlist FM where you can just put in any set lists and like shows that you went to, and I've been making myself playlists of shows that I've been to and just replay it, I know it's not the same as bootleg and live and stuff, but it's pretty cool to check out. What are we at? Number 6? Yeah. Number 6 is going to be the Black Album for me. At number 6. In fact, it could have been lower, but during the past 2 or 3 months, I've liked it more now than I ever did. Of course, Enter Sandman, Sad But True. Unforgiven Part 1, which was all right. Wherever I May Roam, Through the Never was a cool song. Nothing Else Matters, it's a song that's good, but you don't expect it from them, but it's all right. And but yeah, I got the Black Album at number 6. But like I said, I've been enjoying this more now than I ever had. So number 6 for me.
Oh, so am I up?
Yeah.
Yep, it's you.
Okay, number 6. I'm at a quandary, but I will have to say number 6 for me would be S&M.
We're not doing that one, though, are we?
Oh, we're not. Okay. All right.
Sorry, Ray.
Okay, no, we'll do the Garage Days then. The second one, I didn't care for it as much as the original. I like the original one the best because that kind of reminds me of a time in my life, when things were fun and crazy, good times, no gun to head, good people. So I would have to say the Garage Days Revisited would be the 6 for me. Oh, and Anvil, you spoke of that. We had the awesome pleasure of playing on a show with them here in Arizona one time. And they actually really, really, really kicked ass. I mean, I was impressed with how many years they've been doing it and how good they still are. And Don Jameson was on that too. He was touring with them. And so it was fun to see him live. I've seen him on Eddie Trunk and all that, but I never, saw him live. And it was pretty interesting mixing comedy, especially a rock and roll comic, you know what I mean, with metal, and us being part of that show. It was awesome. But yeah, my number
That
6,
is awesome.
the Revisited. You know.
All right, Iggy.
Quick and short. S&M 2. I mean, it was a good production.
Oh, you can't use it.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's all good, man.
Cut.
Nobody's listening to the damn rules.
all right. Then I'll go
Hey,
with
we're musicians, man. We're
gotta-
deaf.
Garage Days Revisited.
You can't put Lulu in there either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's
No.
no.
Son of a bitch.
Lulu makes Saint Anger listenable. You know,
Hey, you better check your notes, Iggy. Hurry up.
he said Garage Days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
did
second
you?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my default too.
All right, so were we number 6, right?
Yeah.
I'm going Hardwired. I thought this was like the true comeback of them. Yeah, Death Magnetic, they got harder, but like I said before, I thought it was a little forced, but this one, I thought they sounded more comfortable and more confident on this one. I got the 3-disc version.
Uh-huh.
There's a 3-disc version that has like a bonus disc that has some cool covers and live stuff on here too.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they do Remember Tomorrow by Maiden.
They do some Merciful Fate too, don't they? Or they do like a whole like medley of that.
They do a Ronnie James Dio medley, a Ronnie Rising medley.
Oh yeah.
And then they do When a Blind Man Cries by Deep Purple, and then a bunch of good live stuff on here. As far as the album goes, though, Hardwired, the opening track was great. Atlas Rise, Moth into Flame, Halo on Fire, Man Unkind. I thought that video was kind of cool because they were mimicking the band Mayhem. If you remember, the black metal band Mayhem, the guy, the guy, singer, his name was Dead, who cut himself on stage and splatter blood onto the audience. I mean,
that's kind of a hilarious video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. So they were kind of dressed. It was like Metallica, like it wasn't them though. It was like young guys playing them, but them dressed up as a black metal band. You know.
Oh, wow.
So they were going for that and Spit Out the Bone, like Robert said before. That's an awesome tune to end out the album. So, that was, to me, this was a great comeback for them. And sound is great, sound quality. I thought the production was really good on it too. So that's my number 6.
Well, without wasting any time, because everybody keeps, this is a good thing about going last. I'm going to go ahead and go with Garage Inc. myself. And I don't know if any of you, when you first got the EP, hearing Helpless and, The Weight and, Green Hell. And,
It was a short and sweet EP, but it would kick. I mean, it was like,
dude, it
So
murdered me. I was like, this is so badass, and I was so like happy with it. And that's when, Jason Newsted got his start.
And you can hear his bass on there.
Yeah, you can hear his bass. How about that?
I thought the production on that EP was great. They just went into a room, threw a couple mics in there and recorded themselves. And I thought it sounded really good.
Like old school, just going in there and playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It sounded so amazing, and you have Green Hell, the Danzig, Last Caress, I remember my mom was like, "Hey, turn that off," She was like, "This is not cool. What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "It's metal, Mom. Get used to it."
It's devil music.
Yeah, it's the devil's music. And now she's wondering what the hell is wrong with me because I keep listening to it. But at the same time, I have children and whatnot. So she's like, I guess it worked out.
She thought it was a phase.
Yeah, at first she was like, "Oh, you're going to hell for sure," and I'm like, "I probably will, but I'm going to enjoy it before I go there." So yeah, I'm going to go with and all the covers were really cool, but I always take it for those EP songs always.
Yeah.
Because I will, even if we didn't include the covers, this would still be there, even though it's just an EP. It's so damn
the
good.
Megaforce EP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. Seek and Destroy was first on there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Well, you had those B-sides. It was Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg. Was like that was the original garage.
It was like Megaforce, right? It was called like Megaforce Demo.
I think it was the Jump in the Fire EP. It was Jump in the Fire, and then the Beast. Then there was the Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg. Then Elektra re-released Kill 'Em All and tacked those two songs onto there for a while. Because I remember getting the tape that had those two songs on there. It was like a re-release. And then they reverted, I think after Garage Inc. came out or whatever, they reverted back to the original Kill 'Em All without the two songs on there. So, but that was the original Garage days was, I think it was the Jump in the Fire EP. So it was Jump in the Fire. It was like a 12-inch that you got. Jump in the Fire, and then I think you flipped the record over, and it was the Garage Days, which was the two songs. It was Am I Evil and
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, so those were cool because they had Cliff on them still. Too.
Yeah, and there is, and Ray is right to an extent because there is a box set that comes with all of that. It's like 4 CDs. It comes with Garage and the covers, and then all the demos.
Yeah, because the demo I used to have back then, way back, was it said Megaforce Demo, but it was Metallica, But it was on Megaforce because remember Anthrax helped them out and shit when they were in New York.
Yeah, you're right. And and a lot of people don't know that Metallica lived with Anthrax in their loft. They came over when they went to New York to get ready to do Kill 'Em All.
Yep.
And they were here. They were actually here in New Jersey too.
Yeah, you're right.
They probably toured that whole 95 coast, right? Like all the bands do that tour of 95 all the way up and down the coast. I was in a band in New York for a little bit. I'm from there originally, and I was there in like 95, 96 in a band, and that's what they talked about was touring up 95.
Yeah. Well,
there's a really cool interview. I'm not sure if you guys are into what is his name, Rob Flint, from Machine Head.
Yeah.
Machine Head.
Yeah.
But he does a podcast, and he has one interview with Scott Ian, and Scott Ian talks about all of this, and it was amazing. And he was telling, how they were feeding Metallica. Metallica had nothing. Like when they went to New York to go but record. And you hear some of these stories, and that's when they kicked out Dave Mustaine and flew out, Kirk, and it was like, man, this is a crazy time. If you guys can find it, like I said, Rob Flint from Machine Head, it's on YouTube. He does his own podcast, but it's with Scott Ian. Oh man, you want to talk about a treat and things.
Damn, I'll check that out.
Knew. Yeah, and things you never knew. I was even blown away. I was like, damn, had no clue about that. You remember about them eating bologna cheese sandwiches without bread? That gets talked about.
We have a friend here in Phoenix, a friend of ours, Brian Mogul. I sang one of the songs on his record. He does like a solo thing. He's just a musician, but he used to be in a band in New York. Blitzkrieg. You may know him being in Jersey because they played up and down the coast as well. But Joey Belladonna was their singer, and Anthrax took him from them. So he used to live with Joey, he told me. And I was like, no shit. And he's like, yeah. So they were roommates, and he used to sing in his band. But then I guess apparently they got the tour with him when they got a new singer and stuff because they jacked his singer.
Nice.
Wow, dude, that's
But he's
pretty
a good
cool,
dude.
this
Brian
story.
Mogul. Yeah, he's a great dude. Check him out.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Number 5.
Yep.
I guess I like this one a lot more than y'all. I love Death Magnetic, and they also came out with an EP called Beyond Magnetic, which was really cool. And it was so. I was at a record store and I found Beyond Magnetic. It was an EP and it was like $9.99, and I had it in my hand, but there was a box that you couldn't open. There were like 25 vinyl for $10. I was like, so I put back Beyond Magnetic. I grabbed the box, took it home. I was like, what the hell is this crap? There was like nothing in there. I was like so pissed off. And then I went back to go get Beyond Magnetic, and of course it was gone. And I've never seen it again.
Damn.
I don't know why. I went for the magic box.
I would love to hear that.
On vinyl?
I would like to hear that for sure.
Yeah. It was a really good EP. I really liked it.
The Beyond Magnetic was on vinyl? It was on vinyl that you had it?
No, I didn't buy it. I left it behind.
No, but the one you saw was on vinyl?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably rare now, you know. It's probably expensive now.
And I went for that box with a question mark on it. I failed. But
never go for those.
Death Magnetic, I liked it. I liked almost all of it. It kind of lost steam, but not till the very end for me. I really liked it. I even liked Cyanide, All Nightmare Long, The Day That Never Comes, Broken, Beaten, Scarred, The End of the Line. And I agree with Al. They were trying very hard. That's about the only thing that I had to knock off, was that maybe it didn't sound as authentic or as easy as the other ones. But then at least they were trying. At least they were trying to put their best foot forward and trying to give the fans what they wanted. The long guitar solos, better writing. I'm not that much into the production part like Al is. I don't listen to it that deeply. I guess that's the difference. But I liked it a lot, and I had that as my number 5 is Death Magnetic. And that show, I did go see that show as well. And too, when they played these songs, like what's that track that was one of my favorites, The Day That Never Comes? Dude, when they played that live, it was just great. And so I have that as my number 5 is Death Magnetic. I liked that a lot when it came out. Still do. I still spin that one very often. Ray, your turn. You're go.
All right. Number 5 is Black. I like Sandman. I used to do it in a cover band back in the late 80s, early 90s. The one song, Wherever I May Roam. Yeah, I dig that jam a lot. Not so much the Kid Rock version, you know. But no, I really like that album, so I would say that's my number 5 is the Black Album for sure.
Iggy?
It's you, Iggy.
I guess I will say for me, my number 4 will be
5.
Kill 'Em All.
5. It'd be 5, Iggs.
5? Well, 5. Kill 'Em All.
All right.
I mean, it was fast, lots of guitar, but if the band was still finding themselves or growing as musicians.
Right.
And compared to the second and third and fourth album, I mean, that will be mine.
My number 5 is the Black Album. I mean, you can't deny it. It's a big album. It's a great album. So, but that being said, there's a lot of burnout factor on this album for me. If I never hear Enter Sandman again, it'll be too soon. I mean, it's just if I ever pop this in now, I usually skip over all the singles, man. I don't even I'll skip Enter Sandman, Sabbath True. I'll go to Holier Than Thou. That's a great one.
Holier Than Thou.
I listen to all the deep cuts on here. Don't Tread on Me, Through the Never, great songs. Of Wolf and Man, The God That Failed, and My Friend of Misery and The Struggle Within. I'll listen to those songs more than I'll skip over the overplayed ones because I mean I hear Sabbath True, I hear Enter Sandman, Unforgiven, Wherever I May Roam, and Nothing Else Matters. They're just all overplayed for me.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see them in concert and they'll play them, that's fine. I know that they have to play a lot of those songs anyway. But still, number 5 that is the Black Album for me. I saw them front row on that tour, I remember.
Oh, wow.
And James Hetfield handed me a beer, came out, drank a little bit of the beer, he handed it to me. So that's like a great moment.
That's awesome.
I almost got Lars's drumstick, but he handed it to the guy right next to me that had like a broken arm, like in the cast. So he was literally going to hand it to me, and I think out of the corner of his eye, he saw the guy with the cast, probably felt sorry for him, and he gave it to him. I was like, son of a bitch, but whatever.
You jerk.
Punched him in the face and said, "Give me that damn stick."
But when
Give me that drumstick, I'll break your other arm.
You want another cast? I'll give you one.
Yeah. When James handed me the beer, though, everybody was clawing at that, man. Like they were trying to get it from me, but I'm like, can I drink a little bit of it at least? Back then, there was no COVID concerns, man. You could.
You just share everything. Yeah.
Those are the good old days. But that's my number. That's
alcohol
my number 5.
kill it.
Yeah, alcohol kills the virus.
Right.
Kills everything, even your liver.
Alcoholica. That's when they were Alcoholica, man.
Alcoholica. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The metal up your ass T-shirts with a toilet and the guitar sticking up.
Yeah.
Rob,
that's what they were. That's what they were originally going to call Kill 'Em All, was metal up your ass. But we'll get to that.
Yep.
okay. Huh.
Yep, you're correct. My next one is Metallica, the Black Album. When it first came out, obviously you're excited and you're like, hell yeah, Enter Sandman. I really never really got into that one. I'm like, yeah, it's cool and all, but I started listening, when I got the album, I started listening to it, and my favorite track off the whole album is Of Wolf and Man. And I was so lucky. It was the second night in Chicago when they played at, it used to be called the Rosemont Horizon. Now it's called the Allstate Arena. And they're like, we got a surprise for you. We're doing a new song tonight that we haven't played yet. And they played that. But here's another fun fact of that story. You remember back in the day when you went and got concert tickets, you waited in line, at a Ticketmaster or what have you, and it was kind of like a lottery.
Yeah.
They give you a number. It didn't matter if you were first. It didn't mean you were going to get it first.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, just a lottery. And, we got, I can't remember if we got selected like 4th or whatnot. And the people in front of us, when they got to the, ticket counter, got fucking front row.
Oh, wow.
We got like 5th or 6th row. Those assholes didn't even show up. I was so pissed. So, obviously they took other people from somewhere in the arena and put them there because you can't have, 5 empty seats. You can't do that. It looks bad, for the performer, just in case it's being, filmed or whatnot. I remember being so agitated with that. I was like, because I went with my buddy that I went to high school with, Danny, and we both looked at each other like, can you believe these assholes did not show up? I mean, yes, we had great seats. I mean, we're right there in front of James. I had like 10 picks go over my head, but I kept missing them. You're that close. When they didn't keep flying over you, but I just remember looking at those seats like, man, that could have been us. But I'll go ahead and go with the Black Album, but I'm still pissed about that concert.
It's funny.
All right, Ray.
All right, so we're number 4, right?
Yep.
I will have to go Kill 'Em All as well, only because it was the beginning, and I will tell whenever I get to my number 1, we'll get to that. But so number 4 would be Kill 'Em All.
Cool. Iggy?
For me, will be the Black Album.
All right. I guess it's you, Al.
Number 4 is And Justice for All. This was a big album when I was in high school. When this came out, they were really like blowing up. When the one video came out on MTV, it was like boom. It was like fucking everybody was into Metallica then, But this was still a hard and heavy album. They were kicking ass. This is the first time I saw them live. Actually, was before this album was released. I saw them on a Monster Rock tour with Van Halen, Scorpion, Stocking, and Kingdom Come. I don't know if you remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember that tour too.
Yeah, and I saw them here in New Jersey at the Giant Stadium, and they said we're going to premiere a new song. It's going to be coming out on a new album, and they played Harvester of Sorrow, and they wiped the floor with everybody on that bill, man. They came out,
bet.
just all guns blazing, man, and they were second on the bill. It was Kingdom Come, then it was Metallica, then it was Dokken, Scorpions, and Van Halen, and they destroyed everybody, man. Even all those other bands will admit that they were hungry, man. And a lot of people were there to see them, man. I remember like it was a big reception for them. So, but I think Blackened is like one of the best opening songs on the Metallica album. I love that. I've always loved that song. Like the end, man. Like To Live Is to Die, which Cliff Burton had a hand in writing that. The instrumental.
Dyer's Eve.
Into Dyer's Eve, which was like fast and furious thrash song, But yeah, this is my number 4 is And Justice. Big album for me in high school. I was in 10th grade when it came out.
Hey, can I do my number 4 because I got skipped? Is that okay?
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I was going to say not to be rude to anybody, but these are fun shows and what have you. But in about 20 minutes myself, I have to take off as well.
Yeah, so we'll just run through it. Man.
I apologize.
Quick rundown.
All right, that's fine. My number 4 is Ride the Lightning. The reason for that is side 2. Trapped Under Ice.
Thank you, Al. Thank you.
And the Call of Tulu. I could have done without. So number 4 is Ride the Lightning.
You gotta say, man, the top 4 now is like the cream of the crop. I think what everybody's gonna be saying. So,
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do like a rapid fire.
All right,
and
do
these fucking idiots. We got people over here on the side that are posting like spam shit, but we're gonna go me real quick, and then all around the horn here, I'll just, name you off. My next one is Justice Fall. No bass, but still love the album. Okay. Go ahead, Al.
Well, number 3 is going to be Kill 'Em All for me. Game-changing album. I mean, pretty much the birth of thrash here, but I have to rank it, man, and this is my number 3, but still, it's like now I'm ranking like the best of the best, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Kill 'Em All, dude. I mean, I listened to this constantly when I was in junior high, So I was like, dude, what is this band? Who is this, man? And a friend introduced me to them, and changed my life actually. So, but there's still more other ones that I like better than that one. So that's my number 3.
Ray?
All right, go ahead, Ray.
My number 3 will be "And Justice for All." It's a kick-ass record, but it's my number 3.
I agree. Number 3, Justice for Justice.
My number 3 is going to be Kill 'Em All. I spilled paint on the cover, but
To give it a 3D effect.
You should have blood on there.
and if you look at it, because I was painting my house, the inside, you can see my finger where I went to go flip it.
You can probably get that off of that though.
But it plays well. It plays well still. But that's my finger when I went to go flip it. I didn't know I had paint on my hand. But yeah, that's my number 3 was Kill 'Em All.
Blood would have been better if you spilled blood on there.
Yeah, it would have been. All right, my next one is Master of Puppets. Love it. The thing that should not be, Leopard Messiah, obviously Master of Puppets, Battery. You can't go wrong with these next few albums. So that's my next pick is Master.
I think that's number 2, right? Is that number 2?
No, that's his number.
No, he ended at 3.
Okay.
He's the third one or the last one on the 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 left.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll go next. My number 2 is going to be "On Justice for All." I love this album. I know there's no bass, but the songwriting and Kirk Hammett kicks ass on that album. And that's my number 2 is "On Justice for All."
So does James. James does a lot of the solos on there too.
He does some of them, I think. He doesn't do a lot on there, but he does a lot of the harmony solos with Kirk.
No, for real. He's credited doing a lot more solos than people really know.
No, I know. I think it started with that album too. They started doing some more solos. So
Right. All right, Ray, go for it.
Okay, number 2 is going to be Master of Puppets. I remember when this came out, I saw them open for Ozzy, and I remember it was a great concert. You know what I mean? And
Hell yeah, dude, that was a good tour.
yeah, they killed it. They came out, and I was so impressed. I remember Cliff Burton sent out some backstage people, and they took the 2 girls I was with backstage, and it was like that movie Rockstar. I'm like, "Hey, can I get a backstage pass?" They go, "Hey, do you got tits?" I was like, "No, I don't." They're like, "Sorry, dude." And I'm like, "Damn." So Cliff Burton took my chicks, but hey, it was worth it.
That's awesome. That's a good story. I'm sorry, that's classic.
Yeah, and
I
we
don't
were
have
all in
any
high school,
tits,
me and
but-
those girls. So I mean, they were young still too, though.
That's awesome. That's a good story. All right, Iggy.
Puppets will be my second one. Excellent album, but there were some songs in it that I mean, I wish I could mix 2 albums into one. I almost had the perfect album, but yeah, that would be my number 2.
it's my number 2 as well. Dude, you can't. I mean, to me, there's like not a wasted note on here. The centerpiece for me lately has been Orion. I've been thinking a lot about Cliff Burton lately, and he's just a genius writing that song, man. That instrumental just fucking floored me, man. You know, go to YouTube and listen to the bass only tracks on that. There's an isolated bass, and you really hear the genius of that man. You know, having said that, you know, Battery, obviously, Master of Puppets, those are the big songs. I go to side B a lot, man. Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, those songs fucking rule, man. You know, so yeah, my number 2 is Master because it's awesome.
Rob, what's your number 2?
I'm going with Kill 'Em All. You know, I got blown away when I first heard this album. You know, Four Horsemen. You know, obviously start off with Hit the Lights, and you know, ended off with Am I Evil? I was just kind of like, what in the hell is going on? So love it. Going with Kill 'Em All. There we go. Go ahead, Andy.
And my number 1 is going to be Master of Puppets. I love Master of Puppets from beginning to end. Battery, Master, of course, the title track, The Thing That Should Never Be, Welcome Home Sanitarium, and side 2. It's just as good. It's awesome. The only thing, I mean, just to go back to Ride the Lightning, because I didn't get to talk that much about it, but side 1, Ride the Lightning is a masterpiece. I love side 1. It's great. It just kind of loses me on side 2. That being said, go ahead, Ray.
All right. You know what it is. It's Ride the Lightning. That was the first album I was turned on to, where, I mean, I heard Kill 'Em All and stuff in pieces and stuff at that point, but it was the very first one that I bought, you know, for my own personal ownership of a Metallica record. Yeah. It was a cassette, actually, and I had a little boombox, you know, like everyone did, every metalhead in town. Just like that Ron Keel video with the kid running around with the Right to Rock. Same thing. I was that kid. But I had that cassette in there for months until it broke. it warped literally because it's so hot here, like, you know, 115, whatever. But I love Ride the Lightning. It was my introduction to Metallica before I ever saw them live. And it stuck, you know, and I still to this day jam and crank that stuff. You know what I mean? I also got a chance, and my hat's off to Metallica because they're a bunch of good guys, and I know there's a lot of movies and controversy and good and bad because they are good dudes. People know that. But what I want to say is I've worked this show. I worked a couple, actually. I worked a couple Metallica, and I've seen a lot. This one right here in '94, it was at Cricket Pavilion at the time when they were called Cricket, not Couch or whatever, furniture or something. You know what I mean? But it was at Cricket Pavilion, and we worked all night. And you know how production goes with bands. You know, load everything out, and then the trucks shut and they leave. But it takes till like 4 a.m. after the show because everything you see comes back down and goes into a truck. Wow. In order. But these guys stuck around. All the buses were gone, even the techs, everybody. Metallica stayed back behind in catering, each one at a different table, and let all of us stagehands come by and say hello, and if we wanted something signed, they would sign it. And they were like, thank you very much. We fucking love what you guys do. We appreciate you guys. And they really gave love to the people. And we were local crew too. We weren't the techs on the road. Wow. I have been before, but I was a local crew. You know what I mean? Just a local hand. And he stood by, and then all 4 of them, and they were very, very cool and respectful. And that stayed in my mind all my life because not every rock star does that. You know what I mean? Right. There are a lot of cool ones. Believe me, I've worked a lot of shows. But Metallica, they were stand-up dudes, and I really appreciate it. And another one was when Metallica first came back, James Hetfield, remember, he got blown up in the Canada show. His next show back, I worked it with Guns N' Roses right here at PIR, Phoenix International Raceway. And he actually had, you know, the Metal Church guy playing guitar because he still was in bandages and stuff, but he sang really well, and that was really memorable too. I just will never forget that, you know, that Metallica still, no matter how injured he was going through surgeries, he really didn't want people near him, and you can't blame him, but he still came out and sang like a bird, you know, like he does, you know, His voice is very underrated. He's a great singer. I
Yeah.
really dig his vocals. Very underrated. But that's all I got to say. I know you guys are in a hurry, but I just wanted to tell you guys that.
I've got all night, really. Iggy, go ahead.
Ride the Lightning for me will be my number one. There's two songs in that album that really blew my mind when I heard them. Fade to Black, Creeping Dead. Those are my favorite two songs from that album.
Yeah.
That's my number one as well.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. My older brother had a friend that used to come over. They used to play Dungeons and Dragons all the time, and this was like '85. And he bought this out. He bought this album over and played it, and I was like, dude, who the hell is this, man? It was my real introduction to Metallica. Before I even heard Kill 'Em All, I heard Ride the Lightning, and they just blew me away, man. I mean, this album really changed my life. I mean, it just got me into heavier music. Call of Cthulhu, great instrumental on here. Like what I went to the Orion Festival, which they had here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. They played 2 nights. It was their festival. One night, the first night, they played Ride the Lightning in its entirety.
Wow.
And then the next night was Black Album. But I went to Ride the Lightning night, and because I'm Ride the Lightning over Black Album any day. And the funny thing is that they played the album backwards. So they went from Call of Cthulhu to Creeping Death to Escape. You know, they played it backwards. So
Interesting.
which was kind of interesting. It was kind of weird, but then I'm like, I don't care, dude. I'm getting the whole album, so it doesn't matter anyway. You know. But that was a great night, and yeah, my number one, man, is Ride the Lightning, man. I'll never do it. It's between that and Master, but Ride just edges it out for me because it was really the first one I heard, and to this day, my favorite.
Okay, could you hold that album up again? I just wanted to see it. Oh yeah, that's my number one. You know, I mean, this album is badass.
It's on blue vinyl.
I love this album. You got Escape, Trapped Under Ice, you know, Fight Fire with Fire. You cannot go wrong with this album. It is so, to me, this is their masterpiece.
Me too.
And it is so close to Master of Puppets. It really is. But at the same time, when I heard this album, I was so like blown away, and it was just like, dude, you know, this is like magic on a record, in my opinion.
Yep.
And you know, so yeah, I got to go Ride the Lightning. I mean,
I think
to me, it's their masterpiece.
I think Fade to Black is their stairway to heaven too, in my opinion.
Right.
Oh, it's one of the top 10 songs of all time.
So
to me.
Yeah,
So
you know, absolutely.
So I was the odd man out on this one. Everyone had Ride the Lightning, and I had Master of Puppets.
still
It's okay.
Hey, you can't go wrong with Master either.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You didn't lose anything, dude.
Oh,
Master of Puppets.
I was just
great
taking
album.
control of everybody's.
listen. The first
yeah. If
Metallica-
somebody said the 2 top albums of Metallica, I would say both. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
listen,
absolutely.
the top four that we all had was Kill, Ride, Master, and Justice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the pillars of like metal, like thrash, dude.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
They- they wrote the book, man. Yep.
They
So,
sure did.
Heck yeah.
Hey, so I wanted to
guys-
thank. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You go ahead.
I just wanted to thank Dawn of the Rising for joining us here today. It was great to have y'all
Appreciate it.
on the show, and thanks a lot for Al. Al, we missed you so much. It's great to have you back. Hopefully,
Thank
this
you,
is
Al.
a trend
Thank you.
where you'll be with us.
Thank you,
weekly.
man. Thank you. I love doing these shows with you guys, man. If I can do them all the time, I'm here, man. So,
Yeah, let's do some
Well-
Iron Maiden next time, or Priest. I'm a Priest fan,
Yeah,
like
we're-
number one.
I'm
Priest
down
is
with
my
Okay,
that.
favorite.
real
I would
quick.
love to do that someday.
Okay, real quick. You know, I got to jump on another show here in about like 5 minutes, but real quick, how do you feel about them only having one guitar player? Priest.
Not going. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work,
no.
man. It's not
It's
gonna work.
obviously
No.
going to be tracked. The other side's going to be tracked, I
It's
bet.
gonna have to be.
Yeah,
How is
because
Rich-
it's
how's-
all dual guitar. Every song's written for it.
How is Richie Faulkner gonna go into a solo and there's gonna be no rhythm underneath him? It
The
can't
poor
be
guy
I
done.
just got
agree.
out of surgery. Come on, man. They give him double duty. What the fuck?
Right?
That's what made them iconic.
Definitely
Was
kill
the
him on
double-
stage.
Right? It's
And
like
that's
you're not
what-
working hard enough.
And that's what set them apart was the dual guitar attack. That's what set
They
them
wrote-
apart from everybody.
Dude, they
At
wrote
that
the
time.
book on that. They were the pioneers of that.
They
man.
introduced it. You're right.
You know, in metal, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody ever had that before. I mean, Thin Lizzy was dual guitar too, but they weren't metal. You know, I mean, Priest was the first real metal band that do that. You know,
And they didn't play like this.
Bring back
Where-
KK.
There you go. Yeah, bring
I gotta-
back KK. I agree.
if they don't bring back KK, they can bring back another KK. Get Kerry King in the band. He's a big Priest fan. That would sell a lot of tickets, I think.
Don't tell a
Yeah,
lot.
and he uses the whammy too. That's what you need.
That's KK's thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys hear who wants to join the band?
Who?
George Lynch. George Lynch.
Shit.
George Lynch.
I'd
is,
pay to see that.
Whoa.
Well, Richie Faulkner's married to George Lynch's daughter, so it makes sense.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly.
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
Exactly.
really?
That would be awesome.
I would
too.
Yeah.
I would go see it. I would go see it.
Yep.
But the 4-piece thing, I have tickets to see them here in New Jersey, and I have like no interest, man. I know Queensryche is opening, so it's kind of cool, but you know, I don't
What
know,
date
man.
is
Just
that
go,
on?
man. See what happens.
I got the tickets for
Either
free
way, it'll
anyway,
be
so I'm
good
not-
topic for another show, correct?
I got the tickets for free anyway, so it's not like I'm losing anything, but you know. But still, it's gonna be weird, man. Seeing them as a 4-piece, I can't see it working. You know,
No, it just that 5-piece is just too iconic to just say, "Oh, we're not going to do it anymore."
Yeah.
And that's just weird. You know.
Yeah, that'd be like the Scorpions or Iron Maiden doing it. You know,
Yeah,
you just
you
can't.
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh.
make sense. Yeah,
Iron
exactly.
Maiden added an extra guitar player.
shit. Iron Maiden, that's 3, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was
All right.
very cool because he took the place of Adrian Smith and then he let the dude stay when he came back. And I think that's admirable. And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're
All right,
right.
Robert. I know you got to go, so I don't want to hold you.
Yeah,
up.
gentlemen, I had a great time. I mean, this was a lot of fun. Sorry, I had to kind of cut it short, but
No
we'll
worries.
do
It
another
was fun, dude.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally fun. We'll do another episode. How about why don't we go ahead and do an Iron Maiden one in the future? Sound good?
Right on.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
And then we'll do a Judas Priest one once they start the tour, if they have another guitar player or don't. Then we can comment on what's going on at that period. But
Definitely.
thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
Andy
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al Horta. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Iggy. The band
God
is
bless you, Andy.
Dawn of the Rising.
And may God
The
God
band
bless
is Dawn
y'all.
of the Rising. Go check
And
them
Mike
out.
Garfield.
Well, thank you for having us, guys. It was fun.
Take care,
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
guys.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good one, brothers.
You
Take
too.
care.
Take care.
Ciao.